today's confession comes from Roy. Now, normally, we change the names of people who are involved in this story. You're about to find out why that isn't possible for this one. Okay. Simon, Matt and Susie, my story is based about and around Peter Shilton.
Oh, really?
So can't change his name.
I mean, I could change his name to Brian Johnson or something, but there's no point.
It wouldn't work.
My story is based around when Peter Shilton was the goalkeeper for Stoke City in the 1970s.
Okay.
So that is the Peter Shilton. 11 clubs, 1,000 league games, 2 European Cups, First Division Championship, and 125 England caps. So England's most capped player.
Yeah.
A football legend and ranked in the top 10 goalkeepers of the 20th century. He had joined Stoke for £325,000, a world record for a goalkeeper. We are setting the stage.
Yes, clearly.
You get the idea. Even non-footballers out there will understand and know who we're talking about. My dad was football mad and even tried out once for Port Vale reserves.
Oh.
It ran in his blood. He loved everything to do with football and considered footballers to be gods, to be worshipped and adored. He might even have got somewhere at Port Vale, but his main downfall was that he was under 6 foot tall. He could not dominate the box, Father Simon, and crosses weren't for him, really. So when I came along and turned out to be quite tall, he thought I was a goalkeeper in the making. I got goalie gloves for Christmas, how-to guides to the art of goalkeeping, a green jersey for my birthday, and a Gordon Banks cap and annual for Christmas. But sadly, from my father's perspective, I was never really that interested. I mean, who wants to be a goalkeeper? What is the point of that?
Right.
Standing between the posts, diving into the mud, crashing into the posts, that is for losers, Father Simon. However, my father managed one time to get me the gig of being a ball boy at the old Victoria Ground, Stoke-on-Trent. Now, obviously for some, this was the thrill of a lifetime, but for me, I was like, meh, as we didn't say.
We didn't say in the 70s.
In the 70s. Anyway, so the first half went okay. I had no idea who we were playing, by the way.
Oh, right.
Threw the ball back a few times, that kind of thing. Then it rained. What a disaster. The ball became this heavy, wet leather thing. What is the appeal of heading this? It seems such a drag. Anyway, just 45 minutes to go. But for the second half, I was put behind Peter Shilton at the Boothen end. Again, all was going well. Recover the ball, pick it up. Wipe my hands, throw it back. Fine, but then the ball went into the deep gully behind the goals. Now, I'm not sure why it was there, but it was like a pit or a trench, maybe. This is the 1970s, remember?
Yeah.
And the ball had just landed in it. Well, I looked down and I decided it so wasn't happening for me.
Okay.
Again, as we didn't.
Right.
No thanks. No, not down there. I didn't put it there. I pretended I hadn't noticed. I realised this wasn't appropriate behaviour for a ball boy. There were some shouts, as I recall, but they were vulgar. Coarse language was used, Father Sam, and I was taking no notice. However, as a result of my behaviour, Peter Shilton himself went and got the ball. 11 clubs, 125 caps, 2 European Cups, 1,000 league games, Britain's most expensive goalkeeper, in the gully, getting the ball, getting muddy. In theory, it was my job, but in practice, he was nearer.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's fine.
It's like a playground game, as far as Roy's concerned. I was never asked back, which, to be honest, came as a relief. My dad never said anything, but I could tell he was disappointed. I think that's probably right. And so I asked forgiveness from Peter Shilton, OBE, for him having to jump down the gully. In my defence, it looked very deep to a 12-year-old. I await your decisions, and I accept my fate. Well, it's certainly very different, and we had to obviously name the goalkeeper in question. It couldn't stay anonymous. And also, Peter Shilton comes out of it very well, because even though the ball boy was ignoring it, so Peter went and got the ball himself. Sister Susie, what are you thinking?
Well, Roy, do you know what? I kind of agree with you on many facts here. If it's raining and the ball's wet and it goes in a deep gully, what am I going to jump down there for? And so, I might have been there for that reason, but that doesn't seem like any fun for a 12-year-old. So, do you know what? I think your dad's disappointment was probably enough. So I am going to give you forgiveness.
Okay, interesting, brother from another.
I mean, it wasn't really for Roy, was it? It wasn't the thing he wanted to do, so that's fair enough. And the 70s, different time when, there was no multi-ball then, was there? You only had the one ball to play with, and if it went into the gully, then you had to go and pick it out. And I'm sure selfless act by Peter Shilton will have endeared him to his teammates, you'd hope. So I am definitely going to forgive.
Right, so it's a double right, so you're forgiving?
Yes.
Susie is forgiving. Let's see if